Now, from the Dignity Health Studios at the Bakersfield, Californian, this is BVarsity Live with your host, Zach Ewing, and as always, Trevor Horn.
Welcome into BVarsity Live for Thursday, January 15th, everybody, here in the Dignity Health Studio in downtown Bakersfield at the Californian. I'm Zach Ewing, along with Trevor Horn, and a fun-filled show again today. Can I say that?
Always.
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to figure out why I can't find our basketball rankings. I'm just trying to get everything set up on my computer.
Okay,
so.
we are going to do basketball rankings. That's true. Trevor's still working hard. And in the meantime, we're going to talk some soccer, specifically on the girls' side of things, where we have the only undefeated team in the Central section in studio with us today. That would be the East High Blades. Coach Marty Martinez in the middle. We have Odalis Espinoza and Anissa Lopez to his right and left and right, the way you're looking at the screen there. So, congratulations on the great start to the season, guys. And I know we've got a lot of work to do in the South Yosemite League, which just started play this week. But Trevor saw you guys play last night, a 5-1 victory over Independence. Jumped all over them. What was it, 4-0 within the first 18 minutes? Is that what it was?
Yeah, you guys had that 10-minute mark between, I think, the 8th and 18th minute where you guys scored 4 consecutive goals. Odalis, you had two of those 4 in there, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That was it didn't really seem like the ball ever left that half of the field as you guys just were able to kind of just keep that momentum going.
And then we were chatting before the show, and Coach, you said that Independence might be the next best team in the league from what you've gauged. I mean, obviously there can be surprises and things, but that performance, maybe in a nutshell, shows what the season's been like. But tell us, what has this been expected, this level of success? You guys are 13 wins, no losses, 4 ties so far against a pretty tough schedule.
Very tough. Personally, I didn't expect it. We set the schedule up because we knew we were going to be good. We wanted to compete, get to the next level, but to go undefeated, it was nothing that I've ever expected. The kids just worked hard, so that they've deserved it.
Odalis, what about you guys? I mean, did you go into preseason camp? Do you pay attention to the schedule and say, hey, well, it's going to be tough to win all these games, or is it just sort of one day at a time?
It was more like we knew we were going to play that schedule, and we just had to just play it and play it hard because there were tough schools, and we just had to deal with what we had in front of us. And
is that better than playing the weaker schools and the smaller schools all the time?
Yeah, because it's going to prepare us for when we go to playoffs, and we're going to know how it feels to be in that situation and know how to handle it.
Yeah. And this, you guys are in Division III, so you have that to look forward to, obviously, here in a few weeks. But as we watch some highlights here of you guys, what has the season been like for you to be at this point 17 games into the season and not having lost yet?
Well, it's a great feeling. I mean, my freshman year, the basis of the team was way completely different. So, I mean, it's a good feeling.
And I think one thing that you've mentioned, Marty, before is that it's not like you have a team full of club players. I mean, these are girls who play other sports who don't necessarily play a lot of soccer outside of the winter season. How have you been able to overcome that as far as having success as a team?
The first thing we did when I took over, we have athletes on campus that necessarily don't play sports. So the first thing I did was recruit some PE kids and, just athletes. And that's the first thing that we did. And then the past 2 years, we've got our own club team together.
Okay.
So for a little over 2 years, we've just been together, like a family for 2+ years.
Great
all
shot
season.
Here, by the way. If
Pardon
you
me?
guys can see the monitor, that was a great shot last night.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
this one right here. It has a rocket when she wants to use it.
So this is basically the same girls on the high school team are on the club team.
Correct.
So you are playing year-round the last couple of years.
Last
just
couple
about.
years, yes.
Yeah, and that certainly helps as well. How about you guys? How did you get into it? Did Coach Martinez just pull you out of PE class? Or were you soccer players before? We'll start with you, Odalis.
Well, I've only played for 3 years when my freshman year when he started talking to me, and he mentioned it, and that got me interested because they would tell me, oh, he's a good coach. He's coached the boys, and I saw their record, and I was like, oh, he is a good coach, and so that got me interested, and I started playing.
So you wanted to play soccer anyway, or it was kind of a...
It was in my mind, like I was wanting to play it, and then that got me more interested in it. So
Okay. What about you, Anissa? How'd you get started?
I played the year that he wasn't coaching. He was coaching the boys. I
Okay.
played. That was my
Your
freshman
year,
year.
yeah.
And I had Martinez as a PE teacher, and I would always beg him and tell him to come coach us, and eventually he did, But as far as the club goes, I played for a different club, and then eventually I went
Switched,
to
yeah.
his, and I bought in, and now here we are.
Very good. What
Marty,
was,
was that a little bit of the arm twisting you were talking about to change position from being the boys' coach to the girls' coach, is having girls like Anessa going, get over here now?
Yeah, because she was in my class, and that was my last year with the boys. I was done. I school knew it. I was going to retire. My AD was kind of getting my ear to continue coaching. Wanted me to coach the girls. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. But, I had Anissa, who was a good kid, hard worker. And, being with the boys, I always used to watch the girls. And I knew I could go over there and bring something to the table. And I was very close to her. And what I found was the girls will really work harder, pay attention a little bit more. So she was a big reason why I did it. And then once I did it, I've been happy ever since that I've moved on over there.
let's set the stage on that a little bit. How many years were you the boys' coach, Marty?
At East High, 6.
That's okay, and then other places before that.
Yeah, I was at Ridgeview for 10.
Okay, so longtime boys coach.
Right.
They say, hey, what is this now? 2011. They're coming to you and saying, hey, we want you to coach the girls. And at first, no way.
Right, absolutely not.
But the more you think about it now, now you say you're glad you did it. The girls' team was in pretty dreary shape at that time. Is that right? I mean,
yeah.
Anissa, you could probably speak to that.
Yes,
What was
definitely.
your freshman year like?
Okay, basically how things are now, it's you're expected to work hard, and that's what everybody knows. That's what's expected of us. And freshman year, it was not like that at all. It was kind of like just go to practice, do your own thing, do what you want to do. But we never won. That was the thing.
Right, Trevor. I'd have to look, but what was their record 3 years ago?
I think it was 3-20, if I remember, because it was an average of 5 wins a season the 5 years
Yeah.
before Marty showed up, and that's as far back as we could go on Max Preps.
When you arrive at that and you see, okay, there's some talented players
Right.
here, but the success has not been here. What's the first thing you do? I mean, you have to change the culture, right?
Absolutely, that's exactly what I did. I went to her, and I went to all the kids who played, pulled them aside, and asked them what the culture's like. And what is this? What is that?
What's culture?
And I was telling them, asking them, do you work hard? What's expected, and this and that. So right when that happened, I already knew exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the culture. So basically, what I did is I came in, kind of cleaned house with that, brought up all the young kids, the kids who wanted to work. And, I was actually harder on the girls than any boys team I'd ever had, because I wanted to weed them out. Who wants to be here and who doesn't?
Well, is that a risk? I mean, sometimes coaches of girls sports will tell you, hey, you can't push them too hard. You have to let them, it's different than the boys. Have you coached them differently than the boys, other than just being harder?
Now I do.
Okay.
It took me about a year and a half to figure girls out. They're different. So all I did was take how I handled the boys, plopped it over with the girls. Took me about a year and a half. Girls, they're more emotional, and they need other things that guys don't necessarily need. So it's actually made me a better coach. But it took me a while to get going. So now we do a lot of team bonding, stuff like that we've never really, we didn't really focus on with the boys.
Okay. And you had some success as a boys coach, too, played in a couple Valley title games. And
Right.
Then you go into a league, not only is East High, the girls soccer program, really struggling, but you're in a league with Garces, which is a
Right.
perennial contender in D2. Highland, which went to 4 straight D3 title games. This is not an easy league, and now you're not with those teams anymore, but you're still in a pretty tough league. East High, a lot of people, when they created these new leagues, they said East doesn't belong in that second-tier league. They should be with the East Side League, and in some sports that's proven to be maybe true. Not here, though. I mean, do you guys feel like you're carrying the banner for East a little bit?
Well, yeah, because not many teams could say, they're not proud of their school, and it's mostly the way that they mostly see the wins and the losses, and then they start going for their team a little bit. But for us, it was mostly like we work hard. We never focused on that. We just we have to work hard in order for us to reach our goals, and the wins started coming later after we put in all the work. And
So it's certainly a product of that. Coach, how do you handicap this new league? Is this even maybe easier than when you were with Garces and Highland from a girls soccer perspective?
Yes, but
The team's better too, though. I think.
well, that's what I was going to say. Whatever league we were going to be in, we're going to be better anyway.
Right.
So, it's easier, but it's because we've worked hard. That we pride ourselves on that. So what we say a lot of times is hard work pays off, and that's what we remind them all the time. So I feel we're going to compete with anyone.
And you guys did play 5 of the 6 SWIL teams,
Right.
right? And obviously didn't lose to any
Right.
of them. They put you in that league. You feel like you could win that league.
We would compete. To
Yeah.
say we're going to win it, I'm not going to say that.
Right.
We would compete, and that's all we. That's what we want to do. Is we want to be able to compete and get better, and we make sure and make them understand that that's what we're trying to do is compete and get better. We don't look down the road too much, and we just focus one game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know over the last, you guys have not lost since December 19th when you had that tie with St. Ignatius.
Right.
10 games in a row. I think the last 5 you've played Burroughs, Bishop,
Right.
Rosamond, and then Independence, and it's like 25-1.
Right.
How much fun has that been, Anessa, for you and to Dallas? Just kind of be able to get this scoring barrage going, especially like you did last night, and then having somebody as quick as Cece Butler is to be able to assist her, and then you guys find your own positions to be able to get in the scoring too.
It's really exciting. I mean, like Odalis said, it's all hard work, and then the scoring and winning and stuff just kind of comes along with it and stuff. But like, I think the best part is like being all a part of a huge family, how we are, and everyone just tries to like share the love, amongst each other and stuff. It's really fun.
And you
Anissa,
were saying
mentioned-
last night that this is the most fun you've ever had in your life. Have you thought about, kind of how this season kind of moves on and how much more fun it could be with a league title if you guys can do that and then maybe make a deep run in the playoffs and maybe go for that Valley title?
Yeah, I mean, all the time. It's kind of just like, we take it one step at a time, win one game at a time. But, I mean, the thought of that is just insane.
Yeah.
Anissa, you mentioned you had to kind of buy into Coach Martinez's club program and everything. When he came your sophomore year and became the girls' coach, and I know you'd asked him to be the girls' coach, but did you buy in right away, and did you sense your teammates buying in right away, or did it take time?
I always bought in. I was always in, but it took a while for our team to get there. It wasn't an easy step. It wasn't just, everyone's in, It was a process.
Dallas, you were a freshman that year?
Yeah.
So did you sense that too, that maybe at the beginning of the year not everybody was quite there?
not everybody, but he started saying what was going to happen. And as things started occurring, most of the team started buying into it, and it took a while.
Yeah. You said you were trying to weed people out. Did
Right.
people quit?
Oh, absolutely. We
Yeah.
had a lot of that. But, it's like I said, we want you to quit now rather than when, we're in a big-time battle. So,
Right.
it all worked out.
Yeah, it obviously has. You guys are 13-0-4 and 25 goals to 1, as Trevor mentioned, the last 5 matches. Is that your brand, Marty, or is it just developed that way, that you're kind of this offensive attacking team?
The teams that you're talking about, they're overmatched.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
to be honest with you,
That's going to happen
that's going to
regardless.
happen.
Yeah.
When we're playing the big teams, we're not scoring that much. But it's like I tell them, we're who we are. We're going to play our style. We have a certain style that we play, and even though they're winning those games by that much, they've been in trouble. Even though we've won, they're always uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
One
And
girl-
that's coming from you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One girl that we haven't talked about is Brooke McDonald,
Right.
your goalkeeper, only a sophomore. But, I'm at the top of the stand shooting video last night, and you can hear that booming
Sure.
voice that she has. She's your leader. Can you
Right.
talk about, what she's able to bring to you? And you talked about how, sometimes you wish that, maybe these two or a few of your other leaders would be a little bit more vocal like Brooke is. Just talk about what she's able to bring to the table.
Yeah, she's our vocal leader. It was hard for her because she was, she's a sophomore. So as a sophomore, she doesn't necessarily want to be the leader. But our girls, it's not them. tried to force it on them a little bit. It's just not them. So we've all agreed everyone just needs to lead their way. And she's kind of taken the role of I'm going to be the vocal leader. And that's what she is. She's a leader. So she's big for us.
That's incredible. Sophomore goalkeeper who has to be a leader in that position. So,
Right.
hey, we're going to take a quick break on BVarsity Live. We'll be back with the East High girls soccer Blades right after this.
Welcome, everyone.